So in this video, we are going to see how we can enter some basic formulas in Excel. Obviously, as we go further with these video series, we will see how we can do some advanced calculations as well. So let's have a look. Alright, so let's do some basic math or write in some basic formula over here. So let's say we need to calculate the total of January figures, right? Similarly, February, March, and so on. Now in previous videos, you have seen that in Excel, we can include text data type values and number values, and the other values that we can have is formulas. Now, in order for Excel to understand that you are writing a formula, equations should start with a symbol equals. So what I'm going to do over here is to add the January values. So the one way that I can do is select each value, put a symbol plus for addition, and add all the values one by one. So I can have my formula something like this, which is okay. And if I click on enter, I'll get a sum of 1650. But this is too much of manual work, right? There can be hundreds of values, right? We can't just go ahead and keep on adding all those values. Or what if the data like updates, if I say, oh, my phone expenditure was not 100 but 125. So did it update over here? I don't think so. So we have to go over here and then update the values over here. That means essentially we are doing it 2 times. Let's just put this back to 100 and it does not update here. So this is not the correct way of doing it, or maybe not the dynamic way of doing it. So essentially you can, if I double click on the cell, it will give me the formula again. So essentially you can do the math, you can do it right like this, but then it will be too much of work and there can be too many things which can go wrong, right? So if we don't like this, we'll just go ahead and just delete that. So if you have gone through my previous video where we talked about cell references, well, this is where the cell references come into play. So again on B9, let's just start our formula with an equal sign, which tells the Excel that, okay, you are going to enter a formula, right? Now, instead of adding values, what we are going to do is refer to the cell itself. Over here, we'll start with B4, right? The B4. So we'll say B4 and we will add the value B5 to it, right? And then we can add B6 and then add B7, right? So, well, since Excel version 2000, we also now have a color coding over here, right? Which is a small change, but a very slick one. Now, what we are doing over here is that we are not using the values, but we are referring to the cell, and system will automatically pick the value, whatever is there in B4, it will add to B5, B6, and then B7, and so on. Now, if you hit enter, it will give you the sum. Well, over here we have missed B8, so let's just add B8 over here and hit enter. So it will give you the sum, right? And now if there is any update, so for example, I update from 100 to 125 and just have a look over here and press enter, you will see that the sum is updated as well. So this is all happening because we have done a cell reference instead of adding the exact values, right? So all we are doing is referring to the cell and we are doing our normal calculations. Now over here, you can go ahead and try to complete the sum for February and March as well, right? Just try to see if you can enter enter some formulas, some basic formulas over here. Now, similar to the column additions, we can do our row additions over here as well. So in this case, again, what we are going to do is start with an equal symbol, right? And say, I want to add B4, which is for January, plus C4, which is for February, plus D4, which is for March, right? And hit enter. And here you have the total for rent for all the months, right? So similarly, you can go ahead and do row totals for phone, credit cards, food, and candy as well. Now over here, we are trying to give you a foundation. Obviously, if we have thousands of records, we don't want to go ahead and do a cell reference like this. It will be too cumbersome, right? So there are certain other methods by which you can do your sum, you can do your subtraction, addition, multiplication by doing a referencing which is more dynamic in nature, right? Going ahead, we will try to discuss that, but for now, just have a look and try to do the simple sum. All right, stay tuned.